Greetings, diners, and welcome to another hospital edition of the Collapse Cafe here on the Doomstead Diner. And I am not in hospital due to COVID-19, okay? I just want to reinforce that. I do not have coronavirus at this time. I can't vouch for what my condition will be when I leave the hospital, because there is no better place to catch a disease than in a hospital, or in this case, an advanced nursing facility, aka a nursing home. All right, which in this case specializes supposedly in orthopedic rehabilitation. And one of my many problems is orthopedics. My whole right leg is a fucking mess and incredibly painful. I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. Well, yes, I would. I would wish it on Donald Trumpovetsky. I don't think he can possibly be suffering enough. And I don't know what his situation is in his hospital room. I do know he has more doctors than I do and sees them more often. There's a fucking army out there today, about a half a dozen or a dozen of them, all in their white lab coats, all looking real smart and professional, and saying all the right things, that they are expected to say. He's doing well, he'll recover, and he's getting all the meds that he needs, and state of the art. He's the president, he's a billionaire. Of course he's getting the state of the art of whatever the art is, which we're not entirely sure. I'm not sure who the richest or most powerful person to croak from coronavirus is yet. There have been quite a number of famous people, politically connected, powerful people, and rich people who have contracted the virus. But as of yet, I am not aware of any major familiar name that has gone to the great beyond as a result of contracting this disease. And so that, of course, is one of the important aspects of, what happens, in the course of a disease like this. It's going to affect the poor population much harder than it will the population of rich people, who will get the best care and will be able to probably, for the most part, weather the storm as far as it goes. There is still no coronavirus vaccine that is being touted as a savior. There are pretenders to the throne from just about every country that has battled the disease. I know the Chinese have a few in development, the Ruskies have some in development, and of course, here in the fascist states of America, our pharma industry, looking for big profits, has several in development. But so far, no approvals, there are some, I think, level 3 tests ongoing where they more widely distribute the vaccine to test populations and then see about its efficacy in preventing the disease and its safety, as to whether, you know, itself, the vaccine, doesn't make you sick, because vaccines can do that. Especially depending on the type of vaccine. You know, there's killed virus vaccines, and then there's some vaccines that just use parts of the protein coat of the vaccine, and, you know, parts of the amino acid sequence, I think, for some of it. You know, I don't know all of the various parameters, or I've forgotten them over the years. But it's as much an art form as it is a science in terms of making a successful vaccine. It's not something you can cook up right from a recipe in general. And in general, it doesn't happen overnight either, although they are obviously trying to rush this one along. Yeah. We'll see how successful they are. For myself, I would like to see a vaccine, because one thing I need to do for my own medical problems is get down to Washington, down to Seattle, where they might operate on my leg, which obviously needs to be done. And they won't do it up here. There's nobody feels competent enough, and that it's too risky and so forth. About the only option I'm given up here with my leg is amputation. And amputation is being considered very seriously by yours truly, because I can't live with this kind of pain all the time. I just can't. And I'm holding on right now. See how things go. But I'm already past a month in the hospital and in this nursing care facility. And I'll be, before I'm out of here, it'll be 2 months total time. And that's eating the meds 4 times a day or 6 times a day, 4-hour intervals, and they don't really kill the pain. They just, about an hour after I take them, I get a little bit of relief where the pain is cut down to what for me is tolerable, but it's still plenty strong. And then after about 3 hours, it starts rolling back in. And by hour number 4, I'm in screaming Mimi territory again, which is no fun. Okay. Other than that, I'm not writing anything. I don't have the energy to write, and my keyboard fingers are not working too good right now, and it's just easier to make these videos, okay? All I gotta do is flip on the machine, face it at my ugly face, and start talking. And that's what I'm doing, okay? Fortunately, I can still talk. Of course, one of my great concerns is food. And I did have 2 good meals here, maybe even 3 out of the meals. I've had about 6 or 7 meals here so far. And 2 or 3 of them were decent. I had cheese manicotti that was pretty good. There was some Chinese egg rolls that weren't too bad. And what else? Actually, it was those 2 were the pretty good ones. Everything else, not too good. The breakfasts are really not. I mean, You absolutely can't eat the eggs in institutional places. Do not ever order the eggs. I'm living on oatmeal for breakfast. And lunches, they're generally not too good either. Sometimes the pastas are if they have a pasta, but not usually. But I get enough food in there. And I do have a friend who's dropped off snack foods. So I've been eating a lot of snacks. And they are keeping track of my weight now. They zeroed out my cripple cart so they know how much that weighs. And now I drive on my cripple cart over to the scale, drive on the scale, they weigh me and the cripple cart together and tear off or subtract off the weight of the machine, and that gives me my weight. And I appear to have gained back some of the weight I had lost again. I'm bouncing up and down like a yo-yo here on the weight. I think I'm in the 150s now, which is good. Okay, I want to stay in the 150s if possible. And other than that, I hope everybody out there is doing well. We've got, how much time left? It's October 4th as I record this video. And I might put this one up ahead of some other ones that I've done. Because they're getting way behind, and some of them are, I'm talking about current events, like, with Trumpovetsky being in the hospital. That's today's news, so kind of would be good to have it up today, right? So maybe I'll add one in today. But otherwise, I do try to have timeless material and not stick strictly to current events, because then you got to put it up right away all the time, all right? And I don't like to put up stuff every day, even though I like to record stuff almost all the time, because it's overkill. All right? Nobody wants to see me and hear me rant about collapse every fucking day. All right? Except the really die-hard fans. And there are a few out there, believe it or not. But anyway, I will put this one up as a bonus today, later on this evening. All right, that's about it from this end. I don't know what the weather's like outside. I don't even have the window shades open, so I can't even look out the window to tell you. I do know that it's daytime. I could see the light streaming in around the edge of the shades. And there's activity out in the hallway, which means that the day shift is on. Nighttime, not a whole lot happens around here. And trying to get anybody to come to your room if you need something in the middle of the night in this facility is not always an easy thing to do. That's the best way I could put it. But for most purposes, I have got myself set up so I can usually get through the night without having to call somebody. Usually, not always. And, all right. I will be back again later in the week. Hopefully something interesting will happen in the world of collapse. Maybe something besides coronavirus, besides the election, besides yet another hurricane hitting. How many hurricanes have we had so far this year? I don't know, but I know we're in the Greek alphabet now. I should have gone to something more creative than the Greek alphabet, because we're gonna see the Greek alphabet every year. So how do you distinguish Hurricane Alpha from 2020 from Hurricane Alpha of 2021? Okay, with the names, even though the first letter is the same every year. They are going A to Z, or they drop out some of the letters. The name is different, okay? They choose a different name. They retired a few names, but they choose different ones. They could do that with the Greek letters. They could have like Aristotle and Aristophanes and Plato, Hurricane Plato, okay. And Diogenes. That would be my Hurricane Diogenes. Something interesting like that would be fun. All right, the Weather Service needs to have a little fun with climate change and their role in reporting the collapse of industrial civilization as we move forward into a world in climactic chaos. And that's all the doom. This time, until next time. Here in the hospital on the last great frontier of Alaska. Hasta la COVID.